Okay, guys, today I'm going to talk about um, leads and calling your lead list. Um, this is a very important topic because um, this goes for all network marketers and even some business owners that have a lead list that they call and they want to market a product or service to. So the first thing you need to do is know who your buyer or know who your client is. That's the first thing you need to know. Who is the person that is going to buy my product? Who are these people that want my product? They need it and they want to get it right now. So that is going to be your target list. So you are going to go after the person or people that are looking for your product or your service. It is very important to choose the people that want your product, because once you put that product in front of them, they're going to want to buy it because they need it, they want it, or they like it. If they have bought the product before, it is a high likelihood that they're going to buy it again. If they use it on a daily basis, it is a high likelihood that they're going to buy it, or they're going to put that product on auto ship so that they don't forget to buy it. So you want to, first of all, you want to make sure you know your buyer. And once you know your buyer, then you can go after the list or the lead list that fits that that particular category of people that are going to buy your product. Okay, so let's say I'm selling bananas. So I'm going to ask myself, who likes bananas? Who's going to buy bananas? Okay, monkeys like bananas. Okay, so am I going to sell my bananas to monkeys? Definitely I'm going to sell my bananas to monkeys, because monkeys just love bananas. Every time you bring a banana in front of a monkey, he just goes crazy and he wants to buy a banana. So this is the same theory that we're going to be operating with, because once you operate like that, then you don't have to convince or force someone to buy the product that you are selling, because you know that every day monkeys want to eat bananas, okay? And you have bananas. So where would be a good place to find monkeys who are going to buy your banana? Those are the questions that you're going to have to run through your mind, okay? Where are all the monkeys? Those are the questions that, have to go through your mind. Where do monkeys who eat bananas congregate? Can I go to this meeting of monkeys with my bananas? And what's going to happen when you arrive at a monkey meeting and you have a truckload of bananas? Okay, you are going to sell bananas like crazy. Okay, so, and the analogy that I'm using is kind of funny, but it is a real analogy, and that is the same way we're going to look at finding prospects for our business. We're going to use that same analogy to go ahead and find prospects of people who are hungry and that want the product or the service that that we have. So let's say, for example, you have a product and your product is a fitness product or a health product, and you have to ask yourself, where are these people that are so interested in health, and where do they congregate? So you can look at gyms, because people who are very interested in their health, they go to the gym. So that's where you're going to want to go for a list of all these gym members. Okay, so if you're looking online for a lead list and you have a health and wellness product, you're going to want to know, you're going to want a list of gym members, people who have paid to go to the gym. Okay, that would be a perfect list to market your product to. Let's say you have a product for network marketers. Okay, you're gonna want to get a list of network marketers. Okay, because these are the people that are gonna want your product. They're gonna need it. They're gonna want to buy it. Okay, so let's say now you have your list, and you need to call your list. Okay, you need to call your list. Now, you can't overcomplicate things, because once you complicate it, and it is very hard to uncomplicate it. Okay, so now you have your list and you need to call these people. What are you going to say to them? What are you going to say to your people, your list, that are hungry to buy your product? Okay, well, first of all, you have to have a presentation of what your product can do for them, and how the product can help them, and how your product is quite different from all the other products that in the marketplace. What makes your product the best, and what makes it different, and why they should get it right now, because you have to create sense of urgency. You got to create a sale. It's on sale right now. It's urgent. The sale is going to go off. You need to get it right now. And you have to create a presentation. And all you're going to be asking your leads to do is take a look at that presentation. It's very important not to try to sell anything to them when you call them, and not to try to get them to buy anything when you call them. Also, very important not to explain your presentation to them when you call them. All these things are very important not to do. I've seen some people who will call their list, and they will call the person and try to explain the product to the person on the phone. Okay, this is a no-no. Okay, when you call that person, there's two things that you want to do. You want to tell them that you don't have any time, okay, right now. And once you tell them that you don't have any time right now, that takes away the need to explain anything, because you're already in a rush. You can't explain anything when you're in a rush. So the first thing you tell them, hello, ABC client, the reason I'm calling you today is because I understand you was researching working from home, and I found a match, or I found a presentation that I think match what you're looking for. I'm not sure, but I want you. I called you today so that you could just take a look at it and see if it is a fit for you right now, and or if it's not a fit for you right now, and that's the reason I'm calling you. So would you be able to take a look at this presentation today? And you have to wait for that person to respond and to find out if that person can take a look at your presentation. If the person goes ahead and asks you, well, what is this about? And you have to hold your ground and tell them, say, that's the reason why I'm sending you the presentation, because all the details are in this presentation, and everything that it is about is in the presentation. So, and because I'm in a rush, I really cannot explain this to you right now. So I would rather, have you take a look at it for yourself, so that you can get all the details and get all your questions answered when you do take a look at it. And then, is this Amway? That definitely not. It's not Amway. That's why I want you to take a look at it, so you can see what it is, and see if it's a perfect fit for you. And if it's not a perfect fit for you, then then that's okay. So you just want to make sure that the person agrees to take a look. And if they say, all right, I'll take a look, then we move on to the second phase of asking them if they are really going to take a look. So that's the second phase of the call. We want to ask them if they are really going to take a look, and if we can trust them to take a look at the presentation, and if we can call back to find out if they took a look. So that's the second part of the call. So say the person say, okay, Raymond, all right, I'm agreeing to take a look at your presentation, okay? And then we move on to the second phase. So client ABC, if I send this presentation to you today, when can I call you back to find out if you took a look at it and to find out if it's a fit for you or if it's not a fit for you? So that's the second question we're going to ask. When can we call back to find out if it's a fit for you or if it's not a fit for you? Because I really want to call back to find out that, so I can get a yes and no answer, and cross you off my list if it's not a fit for you. Okay, and if it is a fit for you, so that we can schedule a time to get you started, or so that we can get you started. So you want to ask them those questions, so, when can I call back, to find out if you did take a look and to find out if it's a fit or not a fit. So now you have your client having to make a decision, and you also have him in a situation where now, he has to either take a look at this presentation or not take a look at it. Right now, he knows that you're serious about him taking a look at the presentation. So now he has to make time to look at the presentation. Okay. So he says, your client says to you, okay, Raymond, call me back tomorrow, and by that time I'll be finished taking a look at the presentation, and then I'll know if we can go ahead with it. And then you have to make sure you get a time. Okay, and this is called setting an appointment. Okay, so you said, great, tomorrow, on what time tomorrow? What time can I call back tomorrow? Okay. And he says, okay, call me back at 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay, and what you do at that point is you say, great, all right, I'm gonna put this down in my calendar. Can you put it down in your calendar or write it in the refrigerator somewhere that you're not gonna forget? Because at 8 o'clock, I'm gonna be calling you between 8 and 9 o'clock. Okay, between the time period of 8 and 9 o'clock. So I'm going to be calling you between that time period. So can you write that down? And tomorrow, I'm going to put it down in my schedule that I'm going to call you tomorrow between 8 and 9 to find out, if this is a fit for you or not. And so thank you for committing to this appointment. I just want to tell you, thank you for committing to the appointment, and I will see you tomorrow. I'll talk to you tomorrow between 8 and 9. Okay, so now you have an appointment. That appointment is set, is confirmed. Okay, you have a confirmation that the person is going to be available between 8 and 9, and now all you have to do is make sure you get the email so that you can email the person your presentation so they can take a look at the presentation, and then you will call them back at the time you say you're going to call them back. Do not text them to remind them about the presentation, and do not attempt to call them to remind them about the presentation. That is a no-no, because if you call them to remind them about that presentation, they're going to cancel on you. They're going to tell you, well, I don't have time right now for the call. Can we reschedule the call? And when somebody says that, that's a cancellation. So you just want to call back at 8 o'clock the next day or 9 o'clock the next day, okay, to see if they took a look at the presentation. And if they didn't take a look at the presentation, no biggie. You just go ahead and reschedule that appointment, okay? So I'm going to wrap it up. For those of you who want free leads, who want 100 free leads, you can go to my homesuccesspro.com/Raymond Knuckles. It's right here, http://homesuccesspro/Raymond Knuckles. I'll leave the link in the description for you guys. Thank you.